If they put a deep fake image of you and me, nobody cares. Rashmika Mandana, everybody cares. And suddenly they say, how dare you put a deep fake about Rashmi Mandana? How dare you put it? And suddenly everybody becomes crazy and they say, we would immediately bring a law. The media doesn't talk about it. For a common man, for a common girl, I know the marriages are getting stopped because of a deep fake thing. In my generation, it was a college photo morphing. Somebody will go on a tour and girl and boy will be standing in a line. So all these panchayats we have done. And now it has gone more AI level where it is exactly like something. So only option we can solve, my personal opinion, more than regulation, more than tightening the laws is.
We'd like to know your view on, right now the trend of deep fakes and fake news, they are very rampant. So even a lot of public figures, they also fall prey to it. And even our Prime Minister Modi, he's been cautioning us of its danger. So what are your thoughts on the critical role of accurate information in today's society? And additionally, how do you perceive the prevailing trend of misinformation and its impact on various aspects of our lives?
Very important and interesting question, especially inside the IIT campus. But I would say, I'm asking this question back to you because I want an answer so that I can frame my answer around it again. Do you think you're traveling more than your grandparents? You're traveling more than your grandparents? You think yes? Okay. Do you think you're traveling more than your great-grandparents? You think you're doing it? Yes. More than your grandparents? Okay. So I'm going to read out something for you. So you both are sitting here. How are you sitting here? Let us track that genealogy. You're sitting here, you're sitting here. Let us track your genealogy and your genealogy. You are two parents, father, mother, you're here. 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 second great-grandparents, 32 third great-grandparents, 64 fourth great-grandparents, 128 fifth great-grandparents, 256 sixth great-grandparents, 512 seventh great-grandparents, 1024 eighth great-grandparents, 2048 ninth great-grandparents. I'm just tracking you. How did you come here over the last 400 years? Why are you born now? So 4094 individuals have to react in a certain way for you to sit here, correct? Correct? 4094 individuals over the past 400 years, 12 generation have to react in a certain way. I think you are top geeks, right? So what do you call algorithm or whatever you call, so you are sitting here. The reason we have to understand this, in my personal opinion, our generation is one of the most poorest in terms of traveling and reading. Because you are talking of fake and inaccurate information. Why? Because traveling doesn't mean boarding a flight and landing somewhere. Air miles is not traveling. Traveling is being there. Your grandparents and great-grandparents are fully present. They pick up that environmental cues in a village. Sun, wind, water, the Panja Bhuta they'll pick. They knew accurately when the rains will come, when the sowing has to happen, when the crop has to harvest. So lesser traveling, lesser air miles, but they're traveling more. The sense of innate intelligence. So you cannot give them a false information. Your great-grandparents will never fall prey to a false information. Because the mind is so sharp, they're picking up cues everywhere. And to the dot, I remember my grandfather, if my buffalo and our cow is pregnant at our village farm, my grandfather used to say the exact date he will say, this is the date the calf will be born. And he will say, if it's a male calf, it will be 7 days late. If it is a female calf, it will be 7 days more. To that degree, Panchanka, with respect to the moon, he will calculate. Do you think your mathematical model can do that now? 100% no. So, our generation has become an airmail generation. Go there and everywhere we are in a busy, and then we don't read. It just something comes in WhatsApp and clickbait. You just see it, your mind goes through a pattern, and psychology might have a lot of terms. So what has happened? Deepfake, false information is gaining ground. Because you and me don't have the patience without a cell phone away from you and me. and understanding what it is. So it will only become more, it is not going to become less. So that we have to understand, because we are becoming an impatient generation. Let us acknowledge the fact. Tomorrow somebody cannot come and say, don't worry guys, so take time to read it and be patient so that this false information will go on its own. 50 years later, somebody sitting in IIT Chennai campus, false information and fake news will be the number one. Wars will be there. Fourth World War or Third World War might have happened, and country's economy might collapse because of that. So that's a big challenge for us right now. How to reverse it? One option countries always resort to is regulation. Okay, let us regulate. Let us regulate, or let us tighten the laws. Oh, you put a deep fake image of, if they put a deep fake image of you and me, nobody cares. Rashmika Mandana, everybody cares. And suddenly they say, how dare you put a deep fake about Rashmi Mandana? How dare you put it? And suddenly everybody becomes crazy and they say, we would immediately bring a law. Or maybe Amitabh Bachchan recently, they'll become so excited, they say, oh, it is happening. Now we have to understand, this is happening for a common man. The media doesn't talk about it. For a common man, for a common girl, I know the marriages are getting stopped because of a deep fake thing. In my generation, it was a college photo morphing. Somebody will go on a tour, and girl and boy will be standing in a line. So all these panchayats we have done. And they put one chain, they say, how dare, 10 years back you were standing with that boy near that waterfall, so marriage broken. So that is also a deep fake. And now it has gone more AI level where it is exactly like something. So only option we can solve, my personal opinion, more than regulation, more than tightening the laws, is our generation has to become very aware of what is happening around us. That is the only solution system. And we have to slow our mind little bit less. The speed in which you are processing, your brain is processing, it is only operating with a pattern. It is not thinking, it is operating with a pattern. And especially IIT Chennai, the day you realize it, I think we will live a good life. Your mind is going through a pattern. It is picking up some information, it is going back, the neurons is getting fired 10 years back, 12 years back. It finds a pattern, it tells you, this guy is bad, this guy is good, this guy looks like this, he is harmful. So slow it down. Yoga is one, meditation is one, breathing is one, and being aware of who you are any time around you is one. So that is the only solution. It might look slightly unorthodox. What is this guy sitting here and talking? He should have talked about regulation. Today there is a big fight happening in Gemini. There is a fight that is happening. Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji has given a big statement. It is violating section 3 of, there is a big expert sitting here in the front row. They all contribute to the government's policy making. I know for a fact many professors here are some of the best in computer science. They sit in some of the top boards of our country. But do you think that is a solution? I don't know. I don't know. And China tried doing this in the American elections. Computers hacked Democratic Party. We all have seen the story. And cyber espionage is a big thing now. But for a person to read something against other person, probably slow it down the thinking, take a moment of breath, realize it's a false news, then you don't put that share and like and retweet. Moment it comes down, am I a jobless fellow to put a fake image of Rashmika Mandana if I don't get like? Since everybody forwards, everybody likes, everybody retweets, oh, let me put one more deep fake image of some other actor. That is how jobless fellow do. Now when the retweets, likes and everything comes down, because the society is becoming very conscious, then who is jobless to put a deep fake image? So this is my answer. Not sure whether it is orthodox or unorthodox, but this has come to my mind right now.
Thank you, sir.